Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. Speaking of Brianna Wu, she's had some absolutely unhinged takes over the course of the last couple days, even going so far as to endorse the Marco Rubio pick. She was like, I'm excited to go back to having a foreign policy with some balls.
Oh, what the fuck? Here's the one that she had about Trump. God, I hate Trump, but I've also made an ungodly amount of money in the stock market since last Tuesday. Pretty freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm even surprised to see her having, um, you know, endorsed Marco Rubio. That seems crazy. And I think somebody even in our responses here, yeah, look at this. This is how recently she's been paid by Rebellion Pack, guys. It really hard to see here. Let me try and put it up. There we go. So as recently as 6/27/24, Rebellion Pack paid this woman who endorsed Marco Rubio, this person who has been celebrating the absolute ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people. This is where your progressive dollars are going. She got $6,562 in March of this year. That's an insane amount of money, guys. That is so much money. And what the fuck does she even do for the Rebellion Pack? What has she been doing to, benefit the leftist cause? That's crazy. And it looks like Gavin has this one here. We can throw that up instead. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, Brianna Wu has really just like she's basically just become a Republican. It's insane. It seems like the only position that she'll defend at all anymore is like trans people's right to exist because she is a trans woman, and that is something that she recently she like came out about and was like, "Yes, I'm trans." But then she'll also say stuff like this. Can you believe this is like some eugenics like Nazi shit? This is going to be a mildly politically incorrect thing to say. But there's something that's really changed about the trans community in the last 20 years, which is the number of people with autism, which is astonishingly high. And they're different. The way they behave is different. Their desire to integrate is different. The internal conflict leading to transition is different. I almost think it's an entirely new subgroup of our community. To be clear, if you medically transition, you are my sister. But for all of the talk of AGP, HSTS typology, this feels like an equally relevant one to me.
This is like some shit J.K. Rowling's would type. This is insane, guys. I remember when I first got exposed to TERFs in a meaningful way, and I was late to the party. It was right after Gavin and I had started to seriously cover online politics, and my naive mind was that the left just kind of, oh yeah, like we don't have a problem with gay people. We don't have a problem with trans people. We don't have a problem with anybody, right? Like that was kind of how I naively looked at the world. And then I got introduced to the TERFs, and I was watching Tim Dillon's podcast, right? And he had this, lesbian TERF on, and him and her were talking about. They were kind of basic, like, Tim could kind of get away with saying it was comedy, even though the other lady that he had on was absolutely disgusting. And even the things that Tim Dillon was saying, I really, really, really disagreed with. But they were making these kinds of statements. This is this is an insane thing to double down on and say they're just different. The way they behave is different. Like, you're a crazy person, dude. Do you know what people say about you? Do you know what people on the right say about you? You're not going to win them over. Unfortunately, like, you have to fight for acceptance of all trans people because you cannot, like, they're not going to exclude you from the chopping block, Brianna. Just because you have 5 Porsches and a rich husband does not insulate you from their hatred. They still hate you, okay? And now the trans community hates you. So where are you going to go? You're like on a rock and an island. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's crazy. This is disgusting bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, for one, it's like, autistic people might behave differently because they're autistic. Like, that's not that like breaking news. Did you just find out about the the existence of autistic folks? It's pretty crazy. And then their desire to integrate is different. Like, what are you, Andrew Jackson? What the fuck is going on, bro? And again, we're about to move on to the TYT stuff, guys. But Brianna Wu still lists Rebellion Pack in her Twitter bio, executive director of Rebellion Pack. She still works for TYT according to her Twitter bio. She still works for Jank, and she's out here tweeting support of Marco Rubio, saying, I can't wait to get back to some foreign policy with balls. She calls Palestinian protesters at college campuses terrorists, unironically. She says, like, get these terrorists the fuck out of the left and stuff like that. And she's attacking autistic trans people for not integrating properly into society. I mean, this is insane, guys. As much shit as we give Anna Kasparian, even her transition looks downright milquetoast in comparison to Brianna Wu. She's just gone straight off the fascist deep end.
Yeah, I mean, it's deranged, and I think that I think it's a new low, an astonishing new low. When I saw how recently they'd sent so money to Brianna Wu from the Rebellion Pack, and I mean it's thousands of dollars on a pretty much 3 to 4 monthly basis. So I'll be interested to look and see in the next batch of filings if they pay her again and how much. But this is the kind of misuse of funds that Cenk Uygur is notorious for. This is the kind of stuff where he'll beg for donations from his audience, people who are working class, people who don't have a ton of extra money, maybe some spending money, right? And they choose to give some of that to Cenk Uygur because they think it's going to a greater purpose. They think they're helping out other working class people. They think they're fighting against a corporate machine. And in reality, you're just enriching a bitch like Brianna Wu. It's crazy.
Yep, 100%. Yeah. Anyway, we could spend the whole show going through Brianna Wu's Twitter account, but we need to move on. This is not what you guys are here to watch. I almost pulled up another one, but I was like, stop. Enough.